wisdom earth. I hope you are having a great day. I know I already am because I'm choosing to have a great day today. I'm choosing to have a great day because this is the choices that I get to make in my day as being a fellow human on this earth. Right now, I'm working on doing a share, so just give me a second. So today, I decided I'm actually going to put a topic to what I'll be talking about and a consensus of what I will be saying. And that is going to be, I'm going to walk on my walk about patience and what patience actually looks like, what it is, why it always will win instead of going on the quick path. And the reason why I say patience is you're told, well, the turtle still wins the race at the end. And the reason is because it's a slow and steady progression. It's a build up with a foundation to get to where they want to be in their destination. And the thing is that when it comes to patience and I will say your money, it comes in the way of if you're not doing options trading and stuff like that, you're not exercising that heavy and crazy aggressive risk, then it's going to take you a slower build to get the wealth that people do get from options trading because you're not taking that risk. Both ways are good. They're not bad whatsoever. It's whatever you decide for yourself. And mind you, that when you're thinking about patience, you're also thinking about patience when it comes to what's actually sustainable for you kind of thing. Options trading is not a sustainable thing, especially if you're not researching it for yourself. You're listening to other people in regards to where the strike price is, where it's projected to go, if it's under or if it's over. There's a lot involved with it. You see all these people making all this buku money. You're like, oh my God. But what they're not telling you is there's a lot of, ooh, I lost money. Ooh, I lost money. Ooh, I lost money. And I think this dog agrees with me, which is why it's saying, yeah. But the thing is that your money, take your time with it. Money is a flow. Money is an energy. And the thing is if you respect it and you are patient with it and you figure out ways for your money to make money, you're going to be straight. I will say for me, I've had 401ks before. I've had Roths. I've had different investment accounts like that. And I realized that 401ks ain't for me. They were never made to actually sustain growth. They were made to substitute for the fact that companies no longer wanted to pay their workers during the union days pensions. And because of that, they said, ooh, let's make them pay for it. And then let's demonize it if they don't do it instead of us providing the money. So 401ks to me there's for me, not it. They might be it for someone else, but they're not it for me. And the reason is because when you take it out and you're not the age of 59 and a half, you are taxed not once, but twice on that money. And the thing, it's a pretty heavy tax. So let's say you have 5,000 sitting there, right? You probably only going to see maybe 2,000 of that money to ensure that you took out enough taxes for the first penalty of you taking out way before your time, and the second penalty that the IRS gives for the fact that that money was never taxed in the first place. 401k money is pre-tax money. So it's subject to double taxation. Okay? Roth IRA is a little bit different. It's only subject to that one type of penalty because you're taking it out before the age of 59 and a half. And the reason it's for that is because you pay a tax when it goes into that account because it's after you already pay taxes for your paycheck. Patience wins. Research and development and execution wins. Patience when it comes to relationships. Oh, people always say, oh, I want to get married. I want to do all this. And I'm like, did you find that person that you actually are going to build with? That it doesn't matter what happens in the relationship, that you guys are both taking the opportunity to say, we're going to build this together. We're not going to leave each other. For me and my husband, what we said a 1,000-year challenge. Oh, we both know we ain't going to be here in the physical for 1,000 years. But that is our challenge because we decided to say from the beginning, no matter what happens, we are staying together. And I gave a clause. If we even consider divorce, marriage counseling is a must because it has to do with our communication, which is why we would even think of the possibility to have a divorce in the first place. Especially if they're not his hero. I'm not putting my hands on him and he ain't putting his hand on me. What else for? What else for? Get some more education. Take the patience. Patience is a true virtue. So true. And the thing is that I've had things happen to me and my husband was patient with me. Patient as patient can be. And I so appreciate him. And that patience is invaluable. And I cannot expect that patience from nobody else. And the reason I can't expect it is because he has shown it, he's proven it, and he continues to do it. I'm not going to expect anyone else to be like that. I'm really not. And the reason I'm not going to expect anyone else to be like that because they're not him. They are not him. So comparison, I ain't going to be doing that. Comparison is the trap of your mind for you to then feel bad about the decisions that you're making. I don't do that. I don't do that. Patience when it comes to relationships and winning. You see people that are together for years and years and years that are not married. I have questions. Not to talk bad about them, but I have a couple of questions. Do they realize the tax benefits of actually being married? Do they realize that you can have two healthcare insurances so that both of your insurances can cover everything and you don't have to pay for it out of pocket? Do they realize the benefits of actually being married? And when you get married, it's a partnership. And to me, it is a legal entity, which means a legal entity. I take my marriage like a business plan. I'm gonna be absolutely honest, guys. I'm gonna be absolutely honest. I'm gonna be absolutely real with you. When me and my husband first got married, we talked about mission statements. We talked about how this marriage was going to better society. Was this marriage actually going to be good, or this marriage going to be silly? What was this marriage all about? Was this marriage to make it where we felt like we could be dependent on each other, or was this marriage for us to expand and grow and build a legacy? Our choice was to build a legacy and to love and to grow and to serve our community. That is what our mission statement was. That is why we came together. And after we did that, there are some more research and development that had to happen. We did some love languages to figure out, how does he receive love? How do I receive love? And we tried our best to do that. Mind you, the best sometimes is as good as it's going to get. And we had to learn some things. We had to grow through some things. And we had to reassess our previous arrangements. Because we even split the household. Who was taking care of what? Because who has the better gifts in what areas of finance or work or house or anything like that. And now we're at a point where we both do everything as equally as possible. We both handle our own finances. We both handle our household. Because the thing is that if something should happen to me and or him, we ain't going to be all that silly of we don't know what's going on. We are transparent and we know exactly what's going on because we're deciding to work at things together. And the reason we do that is because it's good to talk things out with someone that you can really trust. It's good to do that, especially when you're making some pretty big decisions. But we had to do an assessment. And you're like, well, Charenté, you treat it like your marriage like a business. Where's the love? The love is still there. And the reason why we did this is so we have boundaries. Boundaries make the love grow even better than without boundaries, without adding that additional chaos, without not putting structure into place. So we did some boundaries. And within that boundaries, we have great love. I talk to my baby twice a day, even when I'm on vacation or I'm on a place where he is not. And the reason I do that is because I miss my baby. And I have to make sure he knows, and for him, that I know we miss each other. That even though we're not dependent on each other, we do like seeing each other every day. We really do. We text, we call, we do both of the things. And we don't make excuses as to why we can't do it. I've had people, for relationships specifically, that have made excuses as to why they can't text and why they can't call. Well, I just don't do that. Well, I just don't do that. Well, I guess you're not a priority in my life. If you can't communicate back with me, this is not a conversation. I'm not about to do no dictation. So I'm done. To communicate with me, I communicate with you. I'm very simple and I'm very straightforward. Because a relationship is a give and take of both parties, of anyone within that relationship field. And if you're not willing to do a give and take, then I'm going to exit my way out. And I've done that for many relationships. And people are like, oh, that's so mean, that's so tough. Sometimes love can be tough. And it is what it is. Okay? Can't change nothing about it. Because my boundary is that if you're communicating with me, I'm going to be communicating with you. And if you can communicate with me, I can't be with you. Because it's not, it's not a mutually beneficial relationship. What is my ROI? What is my return on investment? It ain't nothing because I'm not getting nothing back. So no, I'm not doing it. Unless they're a paying client. Now something completely different. Completely different. Patience wins. Patience, development, research, execution wins. Change your mindset wins. But when you change your mindset, that is patience right there with yourself. It's being gentle with yourself. It is loving yourself. It is parenting yourself. It is allowing yourself to express all the little giddy little whims of your heart in a safe manner and within legal guidelines. Okay? And the thing is that when it comes to your mind and patience, you gotta have some patience because you got that inner critic, yo. And that inner critic be on extra sometimes, like, oh God. So the inner critic inside of you, I call my ride or die, I call my homie, I call my bodyguard, I call my ego. And my ego, yes, it can edge God out, but for me, it allows me to hear the opposing side, then quiet it so I can hear the other side. And I can hear the God part of me talking. I can hear my intuition. I can hear what the universe is saying to me. I can hear what the angels, the ancestors, I can hear what they're saying after I hear the contrast for a brief second. I don't focus on that brief second though. I move on past it. I squirrel out, if you will. I look at something else, especially if that thought doesn't make it feel so hot. It doesn't make it feel so hot, so I gotta vacate. And I say clear. I say silencio. I say shut up sometimes. Depends on how I'm feeling. Froggy, right? But your mind is a powerful thing. Your thoughts are powerful. You are not your thoughts, though. Please know that. Because your thoughts plus emotions equals the manifestations or the prayers answered in this current reality. God says with prayer and meditation, make a request known unto God. He says, renew your mind and be not conformed by this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, okay? He says, I put off the old man and put on the new man, which is renewed in the knowledge of him who has created me. And him who has created you is love, unconditional love. If you want to take a note what love is, go to 2 Corinthians 13. Love is not boastful. Love is kind. Love does not keep records of wrongs. Okay? I don't. I don't keep a record. You know why I don't keep a record? I forgive and I move on. So I forget, it's just I move on. And how I forgive and how I have patience to forgive is I know that everyone is operating in their best thinking in that moment. Even if that moment I'm like, what's your best thinking right now? Are you positive? Okay, it is your best thinking. Okay, I can't judge that because in my best thinking, I've made some mistakes. I'm human. You're human. And that's how we sin. We just miss the mark of love and joy and enlightenment. And the thing is that it's missed for a moment, or it can be missed your entire life depending on how you choose to do things. And on the opposite side of love is fear. I'm going to repeat that one more time. The opposite side of love is fear. The fear of being uncomfortable, the fear of the unknown. And I implore you to get that out of you the best way that you can and do things anyway. Do things with faith that things will actually work out for you. If they don't work out the way you thought they were going to work out, they'll work out for you. So you can learn the lesson so you can reapply it to do something else. From fear to faith to freedom. Because when you start believing that and you start walking in that faith and you start seeing the manifestations happen, you can now walk into freedom if you should choose to. Because that's a choice too. You can choose fear, you can choose faith, you can choose freedom, or you can choose the opposite. That's on you. Patience wins. Patience wins. Patience when it comes to your job. Ooh, child, especially if you're starting a business or you're working for an employer. Patience wins. Know your end game when you're working for these employers. Know it. What's your end game? Is your end game to figure out how to make $1 million out of that one company? That probably ain't gonna happen if you don't own it. I'm gonna be absolutely honest to God. That probably ain't gonna happen unless you own it. Okay? So how you gonna do it? How you gonna make your money make money? How you gonna invest? How are you going to leave your footprint? How are you gonna operate? How are you gonna get to that goal of the million if you're not willing to do the work to get to the million? The work, it ain't for the faint of hearted either. It ain't for the faint of hearted. And I say the faint of hearted means that you will give up just by one major, one quote unquote setback. And when I say one quote unquote setback, there's not a thing as a motherfucking setback. Let's start there. There really isn't. There's just a learning opportunities. That is all that there is. That's all she wrote. And the thing is that failing is the first attempt, in learning. And at my point in learning what don't work for you. And there's nothing wrong with learning what doesn't work for you. Because you will eventually learn what works for you. And that's going to be uniquely your own sauce. It takes a while to formulate your own sauce, though. And that's why I said patience wins. If you're choosing to walk the narrow path. The narrow path versus the wide path the Bible talks about. The narrow path means that you're choosing to love yourself for yourself because you realize that God's within you. God's not outside of you. And when you realize that and you narrow in on actually taking the time to love yourself, for yourself, by yourself, that is the narrow path because not a lot of people do that. They just want to listen to everyone else's opinions on their life and what they should be doing. How about you listen to your own self? Why can't you trust yourself? I'm being serious. Why can't you trust yourself to listen to your own self? What have you done that's so bad, that's so out there in regards to all the moments and seconds you had on this planet that you can't trust yourself? Whatever it is, forgive yourself. We're going to say this together. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you to infinity. Well, I'm going to say it again. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you to infinity. All right, I'm going to pass that. Because here's the thing. How can you trust all these people outside of you? You don't know them. You get a glimpse of them, of their little window from a distance. You don't know their entire life story. You don't know their childhood. You don't know their teenagehood. You don't know their real adulthood. You just know a little fraction of them. You never know what's going on in their little mind, okay? So why are you putting all this trust in someone that you don't know? And stop saying you know people that you don't know. If you know all that stuff, then you are them. So put some trust in yourself and have patience with yourself and be gentle with yourself. I might sound hard right now, but I'm not hard. I'm passionate about patience wins and patience truly being a virtue. I thought that my finances were going to fix each other overnight. Learned that ain't the case. I thought buying houses would be super easy. That wasn't the case either. I had to get through a lot of fear to get to buy my house. Even my car, I had to get to not being fearful of being able to go into the car lot and to talk and be a poker face and not let anyone run over me. It took patience and trust in myself and shutting my mouth up for me to be where I am today. There's something delicate about the silence. Delicate. And also feels so right about the silence with yourself. And the thing is, you're not unlovable. You are not unlovable. I love you wholeheartedly, so sincerely. Yes, you are going to have your moments. Yes, you're going to think you're not worthy of it. But here's the thing, you're worthy of love without you having to do anything because you're not a human doing. You're a human fucking being. And human beings, like I said, we make mistakes. We make mistakes, and that's okay. It's okay to make mistakes. I just implore you to learn from them so you don't make them again. And the thing is that learning from them, I know, can be very uncomfortable because sometimes that means you got to remove someone or something from your life, and you found comfort in that something or someone. But I implore you, you have patience, you be gentle with yourself, you're going to be blessed beyond any of your wildest imaginations. Blessed and resting in it. I prayed for my body to be healed every day for 14 years. Okay. And the thing is that some of my prayers weren't as effective as the other ones because I was focusing on the things that I did not want in my prayer, not the things that I wanted. That was a shift I had to make. Now the polarity or laws of the universe that I had to do right there. And I started, after hearing my mama, Lois Hampton, motherfucking MAMFT, she was like, Charenté, how about you see your body closing all those open wounds on your body? How about you see yourself in the place that you actually want to be? And I was like, and I was thinking, how in the Jiminy Cricket am I supposed to do that? I don't remember what it was like for my body not to have all these wounds. So how do I even take the time to visualize that? Well, what I did was I talked to my baby. I talked to my husband. And the thing is that what I did was I traced my hand on the areas where I had my wounds. And I used his body to visualize my body closing. Slowly but surely, everything started closing. And I am proud to say I am almost done with that disease process. Not taking Humira, not on Zyvoxofen. I'm not with 6 different doctor teams. I'm not seeing a blood doctor all the time or a hematologist. I'm not seeing a dermatologist all the time. I'm not seeing my PCP. I'm not seeing my oncologist. Or I'm not seeing my gynecologist at that all the time. I'm seeing them once a year to do my checkup and then push it on. And my doctor even said, how in the Jiminy Cricket did you do it, Charenté? You were 286. Everyone is recommending that you have surgery. How did you do it? I had patience with myself. And I took step by step. The first step was me getting my fucking ass up off the goddamn bed. Because I was laying there thinking that was my way to get healed. No, it wasn't. It was to move my body, to love my body, take my body out for spins like I am right now on this walk. To appreciate the fact that my body does a lot of fucking work that I don't know how it does it. My blood is pumping in my veins. My lungs are being able to breathe the breath of life or chi out. I can't tell you how the atoms actually operate to do that. I can't. I don't know everything. And I'm okay not knowing everything. I'm really okay not knowing everything. I know a little bit about a little bit because there's so much in this world. Like, I'm looking right now, there's a stop sign. I don't know how that metal was made and the holes were perforated. And then the anti-reflection stickers or whatever they are were put on to then lead to the octagon on top. I believe it's the octagon, if I could be wrong. Like I said, I don't know everything. I don't. Or the hexagon. See, this is just tells you. That's geometry. I remember one day. I'll probably look it up later. But I don't know everything. But I have patience with myself the entire time, especially with my healing. And saying, no matter how I feel, I'm totally healed. No matter how I feel, I'm totally healed. No matter how I feel, I'm totally healed. And I stop calling the things like, oh, I'm in pain. I'm in discomfort. I can't do this. Oh, look, little homie. Sorry, I got distracted by the doggy. I love dogs. They're so adorable. And bunnies. I love animals. They're really cute. And flowers. But I digress. Loving myself for my body, being respectful of my body, eating foods that my body actually vibes with, and not eating foods that cause chaos to my molecular structure has helped me to lose the weight without exercising, without having surgery. I didn't even go to the doctor during this time for 2 years, which was weird because I always went to the doctor. I always had, every month, I had a freaking doctor's visit, 1 to 3. And no offense, I was done doing that. I was done taking Percocets. I was done being on morphine. I was done going in the hospital and being there for 2 freaking weeks. I was done having a freaking wound back on my body. I was done. So I said, God, I don't believe in you. Help me. I need help. Please, I need help. And he said, so here, no matter how I feel, I'm totally healed. No matter how I feel, I'm totally healed. And every time I felt that discomfort, I saw myself, my body closing. I saw myself moving. And guess what? My mom saw it for me too. She saw me on walks with her before I even started taking walks with her. I had someone else praying for me, in addition to me praying for myself. So I will implore you, if your body's not feeling so right, take the time to love yourself and figure yourself out. That's one. Two, there are so many churches. Get on a church wall so they can pray for you too if you don't have no one in your family that can hold you up in that light all the time. And guess what? There are so many churches you can be on multiple prayer walls. Multiple. So just do it. If you're ready for that healing, do it. They don't judge you. You can go to places that they don't even know you, but they will pray for you. They will take that time to stand in that gap for you when it's really hard for you to stand in that gap for yourself. Have patience. Patience wins. Patience when it came to even my marriage. Okay, I was not very patient before I actually got married. I'm just going to be honest. I'll explain what I mean by this. I got married at the age of 25. Before that, I was praying for my spouse, saying, I believe he's going to come when it's ready. I believe he's going to come when it's ready. And then I changed the focus to, I need to be ready for when he comes. So let me get my mind, let me get my body, let me get everything right. And my mom always told me that the guy will come when you're doing the things that you most love. And that's how mine came. When I was going to concerts, having fun with my sister, traveling, I just bought a car and all that fun stuff. That's when he came. But mind you, before that happened, I was sexually assaulted by a doctor. Yeah. And I was like, oh, I got to get through this because what you ain't going to do is have me fearful of fucking doctors. Especially if I should need one later because I'm going to eventually have a kid. So I kind of need somebody. So I need to get through this. And I went to counseling. When I say counseling, I mean therapy. And with one therapist didn't work, I went to another one. Because a therapist should give you homework. If they don't give you homework, they don't like you at all. At all. They don't want you to actually see you grow at all. And the reason I say that is someone that loves you is going to give you homework. Not a bunch of it, just some homework to work on. for yourself at home, because you're not always going to be with them. And that's what they had to do for them to be where they are today. Homework. Where's the password? So you want to be actually paying attention to homework when you do at home. And after going to therapy, I decided to also change my prayer life and start praying for myself more and loving myself more. And like I said, doing the things that I actually wanted to do. And I met him on a blind date. Okay? I wasn't seeking. I wasn't chasing. I attracted my partner, my lifelong partner. And the thing is that when I met him, I was skeptical as heck because I felt like I didn't trust myself and I didn't trust him. And I had wise counsel in my corner. I didn't have no one that wasn't in a relationship in my corner telling me, oh, this is how you do it. And their butts are single. No. Do not get advice from your single friends about your relationship. That's one of the silliest things that you can do. They don't know what it's like to actually be in a relationship like that. They don't know you. They don't know you. They don't know them. How can they speak into that? How can they speak into that? Divorced or not, how can I speak into that? They might project some of that hurt onto you. And you think that it's the hurt that is already in the relationship, and it's not. It's their hurt. Be careful who you're listening to for your advice about your relationship. I luckily have wise counsel. Charenté, he ain't doing nothing. Why can't you just trust this man? He just want to take you out. My husband paid for all my stuff. Even though I was going to pay for my stuff, I didn't even hear. All he could do for the first 5 days is hold my hand. That's all he could do. There was no kissing, there was no hugging, there was no nothing. There was just, hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? No hands off. Because my thing is I knew that for me, that was a thing. That if I should lay down with that person, I would take on that person's demons, baggage that they don't have resolved, because sex, let me give you the acronym, sex is sharing energy XO. It's sharing energy through your root chakra, through your groundedness. And if that is not on firm foundation, and they are not on firm foundation, and you don't really know them like that, you're mixing some stuff up. And that's how I'm talking about the biology of sleeping with somebody that you don't know. You can get some diseases from them. There's a couple of diseases that can't even be detected by that person, especially if they don't have no symptoms and they just pass it on to you. HPV is a thing. Gonorrhea is a thing. Chlamydia is a thing. HIV is a thing. These are some things I'm talking about. Some biology. Be careful who you're lying down with. Patience is a virtue. And the thing is, sleep with yourself. There are so many things out here in this world. Sleep with yourself. Okay? And you have an imagination. You don't need porn. Sleep with yourself and you don't need it. Okay? You really don't. You really need some extra stuff? Read a romance novel. You'll get some depictions. And then you let your imagination do what it do. But you don't need this artificial BS. You don't. How is that going into you? What energies are you sharing with that porn star? Or that woman or man that decided to upload their personal stuff there? What energies are you sharing with them when you are looking at them and touching yourself? What are you doing? Literally, what are you doing? Do you know them? Even if they're not physically there with you, their spirit is there with you. You got to be careful. You got to guard yourself so delicately, because you don't know. And because you don't know, I'd rather you be safe than you not saying and you're not knowing, okay? I'd rather you be safe. So know what you're putting in your eye gates and your ear gates and your mouth gate. And the thing is, have patience with whatever that looks like for you to actually be healthy. And wealthy is well health, good health. outstanding health, and not just in that physical sense, in all areas, in your occupation, in your emotional, in your mental, in your family, in your social. Okay? What does that look like? Have patience. Have some grace. You got this. You got this. Patience does win. Patience does win. For me, especially when COVID happened, I really wanted to see that Black Widow movie. Oh, I really want to see that Black Widow movie. I really want to see it. And then they started doing some tomfoolery and saying, we're going to push that back. And I said, and why, in the name of Jesus? Why are you doing that? I really want to see this movie. But I decided not to focus on that. And I'm like, it's a silly example. I'm going to have another silly example right after this. I waited. I had patience. And it eventually came out where I could go see it. And I was super excited to go see it. Super excited to go see it. Thank you for the claps. I do see them. I do appreciate each and every one of you taking the time to listen. But I had to be patient for that. It's another patience game. Okay, ready for it? There's this musical, couple musicals that I really like. And I just heard the music when I was on Spotify and stuff like that. I'll be vibing out to it like one of them is Hamilton. I was listening 3 years to Hamilton before my sister called me and said, Charenté, I got tickets to Hamilton. You want to go? And I said, when I'm booking my ticket, I am ready. Because I always heard it, but never saw it. And I wanted to see how they're doing all these different songs and how they're portraying it. Because there's something about someone actually doing the physical acts to demonstrate what these songs are all about that takes it to a completely different level for me. One of my favorite songs is You'll Be Back. And in the Disney version, adaptation, it's by Jonathan Groff. And I sung it in the past couple of days at karaoke, and it was hilarious to see my mom and my aunt's reaction to when I got this part. And this part says, I will kill your friends and family to remind you of my love. Da 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 da. And they're like, what in the what, Sharente? How'd that go from like 0 to Y real quick? And I'm like, mind you, this is about the king, and the king was pissed. Boston Tea Party, all that revulsion. He was mad. Okay, so no, he's going to say, "I'm gonna kill your friends and family to remind you of my love." Okay, because that was the way that he showed his love. Okay, and I never said that love was nice, but it's just one of the ways. But I get this opportunity to see it on Saturday. I didn't get to see my sister because COVID happened and the theater shut down. And respectfully so, because there's a lot going on. That virus was running rampant at that time. We didn't have vaccinations. We didn't have any protocols like that. We were still trying to figure it out. So I'm thankful I didn't go out that time. I really am, especially not having any protection on me at all. Not a protocol in regards to how do you make sure you stand up and not die from this. But I had no protocol. So I'm happy I didn't have it at the time. Now all the protocols are in place and things are a lot, I'll say, safer. Okay, as safe can be right now. And I get to go see this. But I've had patience. It's now been 4 years since I've been wanting to go have that. And this is what happens. Another thing for patience. Let me talk about my job right quick. I remember I was working for this. It was a $2.9 billion hospitality company, okay? And I was one that I was baby boss, as my aunt calls me. Taking names and numbers, handling all the drug and backgrounds, compliance, recruiting for not one property, but for 17 properties all across the United States. In National Harbor, Detroit, there was another acquisition in regards to Springfield, Empire City, Northfield, Ohio, Park, and I even had the opportunity to work with individuals in Mississippi, First Strike and Tunica. I managed their process. I made it standardized. I can make system configurations. I took the time to learn all this stuff in a hostile work environment where me and my coworker had I found this recently. It's literally a little like note thing where I typed out like a table or whatever, I put the letter of the person's name and we assigned a bird to it. Like eagle meant it was our VP, and another person meant it was a manager. Because if we said that person's name, people were listening to all conversations that we were having, no matter where we were, and they would go back and tell them whatever we were talking about, and we weren't talking any mess at all. We were just trying to explain what was going on and what the requirements were, but people were super nosy because they weren't in those privileged meetings. So we had to do some tactics to make sure we safeguarded ourselves. And I did all that centralization, I did all that system configuration by myself. I wasn't, oh, they're the babies. I wasn't on, I will say, how do I say this nicely? No one helped me. No one helped me. I couldn't even take vacations. I asked for take vacations and I had to give the person the base work, make sure there's SOPs and job aids there, just to make sure that they can still do it. And they still call me when I was on vacation. So I had to hop on no matter what the time was. Or if National Harbor had an issue at 5 o'clock in the morning Pacific time, I was up answering and attending to them by myself. And that took a toll on my body. And I prayed, God, I want a workday job where I don't have to do much work. I want a workday job. I want a workday job. And I thought it was going to be at that company. God took me away from that company for me to grow some more, to me to learn some more. For after 4 years again, I got the job I wanted, and I get to work for Dutch Bros as a workday systems and admin. And it's a loving experience. I trust them. I really do. And if I'm having a bad day or if I cry, literally I've cried in meetings before, and it was unintentional because something was going hard in my life and I couldn't cope. And I told them, and they just sat with me. And I said, "You're going to be okay, Charenté. You got this. You're going to be okay." Because they actually are a company that cares. They're a people at that company that care, because humans do come first. Right now, we're going to have the beautiful, beautiful Julie Hallett come on. And I am super excited to hear from you, Miss Julie. How
I
you
just
doing?
wanted to, I'm all right. I just wanted to be with you. That's
Ooh,
it. I just
yay.
wanted to walk with you and talk with you. And
I
I was
love it.
listening to you. And do you know, you're so right. Sometimes, no matter how hard life is, and you are a woman of strength for start off. But when people see you as that strength, sometimes just someone to come and sit with you is all you need. And you found that,
I
you know?
did, and I was so
Yeah.
happy. And I even apologize most of the time. They're like, "Sure, don't apologize." Like, I was having a hard time
Mm,
recently and this past week with I was on the day my sister passed away, I was pushing. I was
mm,
pushing and I was being hard on myself because I didn't want to face the emotions. And I
yeah,
told one of my coworkers because after talking to my mom, I had a mental breakdown. I'm being the
yeah,
nicest way. I had a mental breakdown, and I told her, and I was like, "Is there any way?" I was like, "I think I can ask for. I think I can ask our manager to take the rest of the day off." She's like, "Do it. You've done a lot today. You did a lot of configurating. You worked with a lot of teams today. Do it. You need to take care of yourself." And I
yeah,
messaged her, and she said, "Take the rest of the day off. You're fine. I'll see you tomorrow." And I said, "Thank you so much,"
yeah,
because I needed that time to get my mind
yeah.
back right. Because I can't be an efficient employee when my mind's all scattered. I really can't.
Exactly, exactly. And you just can't function right when you don't give yourself that time to just sit with yourself, actually. But when someone else is willing to just be with you through that time, not say anything, not do anything, just be with you, that is phenomenal. That is it. You know, that is what we want in life. We just don't
And the
want
thing
people
is,
directing, fixing,
exactly, just
organising.
sit
Yeah, we
there.
don't
Just
need
sit there.
that. Yeah, yeah. We just need someone to be with. And then that way it doesn't take anything away from you. It doesn't give to you forcefully, you know, it doesn't push you around. It just allows you to just be in that moment with another soul. And that is enough. That is what we need. That's what I always ask for. So yeah, well done them. Well done them for giving you that reprieve, because I think you're amazing. I think
Well,
you
thank
are
you, Julie.
amazing. When I
I
need some strength, I call on you. There you go. What does that say?
oh, here we go.
Yeah,
You can have some of it. Here we go. I'm sending it to you now. You can have some of this. I'll be
thank you.
bad.
Thank you. I'm going to need it pretty shortly, that's for sure. But yeah, I just wanted to be with you today and just wanted to agree with you when you say that patience wins, because it's the hardest thing to practice, I find. You
Oh my
know,
God,
with
yes.
if you've got plans, or if you want to feel movement or growth, sometimes just having that patience is the hardest part. And it's, you know, walking through it with you, it's just like just be for a minute. Don't do or plan anything. Just be. And yeah,
Oh yeah.
it's a
And I will
difficult
say
place.
this:
Mm,
when it comes to these wisdom talks, I'm gonna be absolutely honest. I don't plan these out. If God says go on and talk today, and I'm like, okay, now we're going to talk
yeah,
about it. Today. He said patient wins, so that's what I did. And I was like, we're doing patience wins today, and it is what
and
it
it's
is. And
perfect. It's
tomorrow, I'm probably not gonna be there.
perfect for me. That, even if you were just there to say that, for me, it's it is perfect. Thank you so much, because I need to remember to be patient. That's exactly
And
what
I
I
will
needed
say this:
today. So
I've had vision boards where I gave an actual date and stuff. And my thing is that I stopped doing that only
yeah,
because people are like, well, you need to put a time frame. You need to put a time frame. How about God's time? How about when
yeah,
I actually change my vibration to align with the thing that I'm asking for? How about that?
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not about this whole relative time, because the thing is, time is some BS, and time is not something that you can't get back. So I'm not going to set myself up to have this expectation for me to then get disappointed and me not do anything else.
That's it. Absolutely. Any plan needs to be pretty loose, and that's what
Loosey
mine's been
goosey.
so far. But the thing is it's happening. Things are happening all by themselves. I mean, yesterday I was worrying. I was thinking, listen, I've got to get a train to the start of this journey that I'm going on, and the reason that it's got that date is because I like that date. That was like, I like that date. I'm going to go for then. So to allow for anything odd to happen, I set off on the day before. But I was trying to plan this train journey, and that involved four different train companies. So I rang up the first one, the first connection, and she said to me, yeah, we've got a train. It runs from this time to this time. And I'm like, great, I've got to fit that in with the four other trains I've got to get. But she said, then you've got to get off at Coleshill and you've got to get on the bus to wherever. And I said to the lady, I said there was two people and two bicycles. Bikes aren't allowed on buses. So I was talking to a friend of mine. Yeah, I said, that's like just, oh God, I'm not even going to plan it. I'm not going to plan it. I'm just going to go. And I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday, and she said to me she'd come round for coffee and a chat and to feel good. And that was cool. So I was chatting to her, and she said, oh, so yeah, the trains and that, blah, blah, blah. And she said, I'll give you a lift. I'll give you a lift all the way. I'm like, fantastic. How cool is that? For not, I wouldn't have asked her because she's my friend and I wouldn't want to put on her. But ta-da, it's sorted. I don't have
I'm
to
so
bother with
happy
the
for you.
trains.
No,
Woohoo!
I completely hear that, because here's the thing. I'll
Mm,
be absolutely honest. I really wanted to go to this musical this coming weekend, and my aunt's
yeah,
like, "You can pay me next paycheck," and I'm like, "Really? I get to go?" Because I was stressing over it, because I really wanted to go see it with them, because I wanted to
yeah,
see the musical with my family that
yeah,
also wanted to see the musical too. And
yeah,
she doesn't know this, but I cried for a minute, because I was just thankful that
yes,
God answered my prayer, even if it was through my
yes.
family.
How lush. It's just so wonderful when that happens and that gift is there. And it's not like you plan it or anything. That's the thing about not planning. Be loose with it, go with the flow, and it will come. If it's supposed to come, it will come. And sure enough, it did.
It will, and I will say this, even for the trips that I've been on outside the country, me and
Yeah,
my sister gave general guidance of the things we wanted to do. If we hit all those things, cool. If we didn't worry about it because we
exactly.
hit the things that we were meant to hit. We did
Yeah,
the things we were meant to do.
yeah, yeah. Superb. Oh, Charente, I love talking to you. I love your voice. I love your energy. You're bloody great, girl. And thanks for coming on here because you just reminded me patience, yeah, it can be difficult, but it can also be a pleasure. So,
Oh yeah, and I will say this: if you live in the moment and you stop focusing on the future or the past, the present is a gift.
it is. It is. Absolutely. Thank you for having me chat to you, you lovely lady.
And I love that you came on, and I welcome anyone that wants to come on. And I just thank you, Julie, for listening, and I love you wholeheartedly.
I love you massive amounts. You know this. Take
I
care.
do, which is why I'm smiling.
Woohoo! Love you. Bye bye.
Love you. Bye. That was the beautiful Julie Howlett. I love her. I really do. Oh my God, I have two people in the queue. Ooh, I get to talk to my auntie. I ain't gonna call her by her actual name, okay? She can call herself by her actual name. I ain't gonna do that. Mm-mm. She auntie.
Hey, peace to your house, Charenté. Oh my
Hi,
gosh.
auntie.
Hi, baby. Oh my God, you're my baby boss. You've been the chairman of the board for a while. And it's just kind of watching you grow into your shoes, girl. What it took to be there, that patience. Patiently loving yourself, patiently growing yourself, patiently slowing yourself down and pacing yourself. You can see it. You can see the work that's done. You can see the work that is done. Shoot. Oh my gosh. Oh, I like your subject. Walk and
So,
talk with me.
how has patience won for you, auntie?
You know, um, Patience is part of my never giving up profile. Patience is one of it's like it's interwoven into never giving up and never stop moving forward. Even when I am in a situation where I know that I am growing and it's particularly painful, I am learning not to run from the lesson, to stay long enough to get the blessing. So it's just kind of like I had no choice but to be patient with myself because it wasn't going to go no further, no faster than I could take it. It wasn't going to come. The revelation wasn't going to come no faster than I could receive it, because sometimes you have so much stuff in you, you know, that patience is trying to work out, you know. Patience is like this friendly part of yourself saying, hey girl, slow down, I want to talk to you. Hey girl, slow down, I want to talk to you. And I'm like, but I gotta go because I'm trying to heal myself real fast. And she was like, come here, I want to tell you something about that. So it's like, it's just interwoven into every lesson and into every blessing that I have, the different states of mind and the shifting of those states of mind so that I am in alignment. Some of these things, girl, where are you? Oh, you must be outside walking the dog. I heard that. You're going to 2-in-1 special. So, where you at? But just patience. It's just part is interwoven into the lessons of life. And, if you want to grow, you're going to have to kind of, pat yourself and be still. Encourage yourself to be still and wait, you know, for the revelation to come. Or as you're walking, not so much waiting still, but kind of waiting Because how can I explain this? It's just, man, it's just the grace of God. That's what patience is, because you're graced with this. You're graced with it to stay with it till it totally blooms. You know,
Oh yeah.
it's like
And I will say
seed.
this.
Yeah.
Didn't grandma used to always say, watch pot don't boil or something like that? It was something
Uh,
like that. It was something along those
okay,
lines.
maybe your grandma. But my my grandma had other idioms. That like sit down fast to a girl.
Yeah, I can.
Say no, because you could be moving too fast and you miss it. So I
Oh
think
yeah.
that with me, I tended to move too fast and miss it. And then I went to the other side, and then I was just waiting like somebody was going to bring it to me. And then you realize that this is just a walk and you have to pace yourself. So patience is pacing yourself. And I'm still learning that. These are everyday things to remember, you know, patient with your growth. Don't be anxious about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about where you've been. Don't worry about where you're going. Just be present, because patience is in the presence. So that's just my thoughts about it.
I'm just gonna say, oh yeah, oh yeah, and I will say it just hit 444 when you ended that. So I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Oh,
Um,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
yeah, yeah, your forwards came back. Your forwards came back.
My forward
Uh,
came back,
your
girl.
forwards came back. But
Hey, I think patience, man, it's taken almost a lifetime, at least half a lifetime, to come home to myself. And I didn't even know I was away from home. So patience be working on the backside of something you don't know nothing about. You know what I'm saying? When you come
oh
home
yeah,
to yourself, you didn't even know you were away.
no, I didn't know
You
we were
know,
living in someone else's house. Now I'm like, wait a minute, this is not my house. Okay, maybe I should go back to my own house. But where is my house? How do I
where
find
is
my
my
house?
house? Yeah, we've got people walking around in their homes and feeling homeless. But home is where your heart is. And sometimes we find it hard to be in our heart, you know, but that's where the direction is pointing us. And that's home. And so you got to go home and sit with yourself and love on yourself and believe in yourself, and these things take patience, because mindsets are not broken in a day. They're not broken in 30 days.
Nope.
Some mindsets are part of other mindsets that are a part of other mindsets, like a spider in a web. So you got to be patient, or you're going to have that sticky web all over the next step, you know?
Oh yeah.
And so you got to wait for the cloud to clear, the fog to clear in your thinking, in your mind. And I'm just saying this, I believe this wholeheartedly, that when God brings something to your attention, it's really almost pretty much on its way out. And you don't even know you've been in the process. And then he has you look back and you go, whoa, wow, I didn't even know I was there. I didn't even know I was acting like that. I didn't even know that was going on. Uh-oh.
You're good.
I didn't know that
It's
was going on. So
no,
the
I got
patience
you.
is the patience is a interwoven thing, part of our spirit. We got all these tools that are inbuilt, okay? And they're tools, and they're sharpening other tools. Patience is sharpening your trust. Patience is sharpening your love. Patience is sharpening your wisdom. It's like iron sharpens iron, spiritually speaking, physically speaking, uh, you know.
Oh yeah, and I will say this. Um, even patience when you're driving, because I will say one of the top reasons why people get in accidents in Nevada is because they fail to yield.
Mm, speak, girl. I'm looking at a yield sign right now.
Yeah.
Girl, I'm looking at a merging sign right now. It says in the freeway, yield.
Oh
And
yeah.
some people miss their off ramps because they don't yield. It's like, hey, you were getting ready to be done with this lesson, but you didn't yield. You
Or you
forgot to
weren't
say
paying
thank you.
attention.
You forgot to say thank you. You forgot to express gratitude and love and thanksgiving. I listened to one, I can't remember her name, but she was helping me one day on this app. And she had me take a deep breath. And we had come to some revelation. She says, say thank you 9 times. I said, what? She says, thank you. Go, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You know? And she just, she said that is that expressing that gratitude for God, like just, I don't.
Oh no, Auntie came off. I will say everyone patiently waiting in the queue. I do see you, Nancy, John, and Lois. I do see each and every one of you. Auntie, I'm gonna bring you back on so you can land that private jet of yours because that was a wealth of information that you are providing to us. And I greatly thank you.
So I just say, patience is part of the fabric of our life and is how we grow in grace. So I love you. Let's let everybody else jump on.
Okay, I love you.
Love you,
Bye, Auntie.
baby. My baby boss.
Yeah. Okay. This next person, she doesn't really need an introduction, but I'm gonna give her an introduction. It's gonna be Lois Hampson, MA, MST, aka Mommy. How you doing?
Say, I thought Nancy was in the queue. I wanted to hear what Nancy had to say. I didn't know it was me.
Hey, I wanted Nancy to come up too. She disappeared, but it's okay. She
Well,
might come back. I don't know.
I had to come back.
That's why I said, hey, if you want to join back in, just get back in line. I will bring you back up. Whoever was in the queue, and I believe I saw Nancy and John, and I would love to talk to you guys too
Okay.
on this fine new day.
Well, patience wins because patience is supposed to win because Rome wasn't built in a day. Okay. And neither are we made. And it's the mistakes. That means you can take it again. A mistake. And the thing is, the patience wins. And like, for instance, when I was getting sitting back here where I'm sitting right now, healing from that death, that second death experience, I had to learn how to be patient with myself. It did not take. It was not overnight that I was with all the diseases and everything. And everything that I had to heal from. All of that wasn't instantaneous. Bam, here it is, all there. So for me to think that getting healed is going to happen in the snap of a finger by a magic pill, by some genie waving his whatever coming out of a bottle, that's foolish. That's not even sensible. That's nonsense. Okay, because it took years. At that point in time, I was 40 something. It took 40 something years to get my body, my mind to the state I was in. So for me to think it would occur overnight, that would have been food. And to me, and then I tried the pills way because I thought that was the way you're supposed to do it because that's what the doctors say. But I had to do it the pill way. I couldn't do it the pill way. The pill way was killing me. So I had to do it bite by bite, vitamin by vitamin, step by step. And this shit took a long time. It took a long time. Am I grateful for the growth? Oh my God, I was grateful every step of the way. And when I first cleaned this window I'm looking at right here, it took me 8 hours to clean this one window. And I see how small it is now. I kind of see where, no, I'm serious. This window, I had to take a picture of it. And it's a small window. It wasn't the double windows. It was just one of the double. So
Oh yeah.
so it took me 8 hours to clean one window when I was really, really ill. And but it took me,
I remember.
but the whole thing is patience, man. They say patience is a virtue because everything you get is gotten when you wait. Because things we don't chase, we attract. We are magnets. We attract. And if we're not patient and we running, our magnet is trying to get to us, but we running away from it. But if you're patient and you just sit with it, sit with the pain, sit with the hurt, sit with the sickness for a minute, accept that it is. And patiently your answer, you in that peace, your answer will come.
Oh yeah, and I will say this, just so people know, my mom. And I'm gonna just disclose this. I remember one day I woke up and she could not walk to the bathroom, so she crawled to the bathroom, and I felt powerless in that moment. So I was like, I can't even help her, but she pressed on. Now she's in the motorcycle business and actually riding them things and walking and talking and climbing mountains and looking at waterfalls. And then now she's about to take a trip to Paris. And I'm like, all from her crawling to go to the bathroom. But that took her years to be able to walk again. And she's not running; she's just walking.
I'm dancing my ass off though. I may not run because I don't
Yeah.
like to run. I used to like to run when I was a kid, but then I became a woman and that was not comfortable for me anymore because I came a womanly woman. I'm going to say it like that. And it was not comfortable to run. So I like walking. I like doing a lot of things, but I had to have patience with myself and with everybody else around me too. And I knew that during that time, while I was waiting, that I could not take out, use that. I could not use that wait time to criticize, to blame, to do any of that other stuff because that's self defeating. I found it was self defeating because the more symptoms got, no matter how I feel, I'm totally healed, you know, because I could not say I'm healed because my mind wouldn't, I couldn't make that leap from I'm sick because of the hereditary diseases till I'm healed. Okay, but I could say no matter how I feel, I'm totally healed, and I still say that to today because I know I'm totally healed. Even right now, when I got gluten infected, I'm totally healed. Even though my stomach is fluffed up, like I'm totally healed because I am healing. I am love. I am peace. I am patient. Okay, I am these things that we aspire to become because once you allow yourself to be love, love shows you that you are all these things all in one. That this nature, all these trees, and like I said, I sit back here, I find a lot of peace back in this backyard. This backyard is not kept anymore. It doesn't matter because here's where God showed me Him. Okay, I don't care what it looked like now. Okay, I know what it was for me, and it's still nature. It's just not been tended to. So my thing is that when you realize, when you have the patience and trust in God or your higher self or your higher power or the universe, whatever you want to call source, you that's what you were created from, that which you are part of, and that everything I'm looking at, this barbecue pit, this table, the grass, the trees, that little trampoline on this neighbor's yard, all of that is all a part of that same energy. And when you realize that, you realize, hey, wait a minute, there's abundance of energy, there's abundance of stuff, there's abundance of things, and then you look at your body. Oh, look at my hand. I got an abundance of fingers. I got skin. Oh my God, what's under that skin? You realize that your abundance, you know. And the
Oh
thing
yeah.
is that when you know that, you can have patience for anything. I sit on ideas for years. God to give me an invention, I'll make it, and I sit my ass, okay, until He says now is the time. Because when He says it's the time, this shit gonna blow up, and I know that because
Hi.
I've been patient before for a lot of different things. So That's what I have to say about patience. Patience wins. Yeah, patience is mighty powerful, especially when you can when you trust your source is making sure that everything works out for your good. No matter what the hell you see, it's working for you. Somebody hollering at you, that's working for you. That's helping you clear that shadow shit, that phantom stuff, and those ghost riders that ride shotgun with you, talking to you, reminding you of who you were. Okay, those are things of who you were. That's what you did experience. Who you are now is totally different. And if you don't have patience with yourself, you don't sit still, you can't even see it. So you gotta, patience is important. Even patience when somebody's talking, when you're talking to somebody. Put the space between your thoughts. You get it. Take that time. Don't just blurt out something out your mouth. Take the time to think about what you're gonna say. And if they say something, oh, are you listening to me? Yes, I'm listening. I'm just considering what you're saying. I'm marinating on it. I'm gonna have a response in a minute. Take that time. Be patient with your thoughts, because it wins every time. Like the story of the tortoise and the hare. Okay, the tortoise thought he gonna run off, run off, run. The rabbit thought he was gonna win the race, but the tortoise just nice and easy. Now it's been several years, but doing it without had taken the medications and without doing some crazy stuff. God is saw fit for me to find out which foods works for my body, which foods don't. But I had to have patience to take my time and take time between each bite to figure out if this is good for me or not. So patience is like so important, and it always wins out. I love you, my daughter. You're so sweet.
I love you too, Mom. And guess what? I'm at 3.47 miles, and I'm so
Oh,
happy
you
about
go,
that.
girl. Hey, I ain't gonna say I wish I was with you because I could have been with you. I just didn't feel like going.
And that is fine. And Tokyo's living her best life right now, so it's all good. It's
All
all
right,
good.
I love you, girl, and I'll see you when you get back here.
Okay, love you, Mom. Bye
Okay,
for now.
bye.
Oh my God. What, Harold? We're gonna pause for a second. I'm gonna bring Daniel on in a second. These past three guests in this past 30 minutes has been amazing. And I just want to give some applause to these beautiful, beautiful women, beings of light that they are, that they were able to let us know how patience wins in their life, because patience wins for everyone. It's whether we choose to see it or not. It's whether we choose to see it or not. Now, without further ado, we're going to bring in the silly, the energizer, Mr. Daniel F. Hart. How you
Let's get
doing?
ready to rumble.
Yes.
Charente, I love you. Lois, I love you. Hey, Charente, check this. Let's share Wednesday now that it's after the fact. Let's do that, okay?
Oh, okay. We can share that. I got to
Thank-
meet this man
There
in
we go.
person.
Check this out. I have to ask permission because I adore Lois. I adore Charente. I had to ask permission. It's respectful, right?
Oh, yeah. And that's patience right there, because we didn't say anything when it actually happened. We waited a few days before we said
Amen.
anything.
Amen, amen. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody here, I met with Lois and Charente day before yesterday, and we had a killer breakfast. Let me tell you this, know this. Are you sitting down? Sit down. Let me sit down too, real quickly. Okay. There we go. Sitting down, waiting for my Zoom call in about an hour or so with my PR firm. Charente Carr in person, Lois Hampson in person. In a word, well, I'll give you 5 words: gorgeous, brilliant, lovely, big hugs. Oh, Sharente, I love you. And Lois, I love you. We had breakfast together now in California here. Ah,
Oh yeah, and I will say this is that when I first heard Daniel, I was like, I would like to meet him, and I was like, but that's patience,
mm,
because we have to be in the exact same state for that to happen.
mm-hmm,
That's patience right there. They can't be like, oh, I'm gonna go right now. No, I'm gonna do the things I needed to do so
mm-hmm,
I can be where I needed to be at for me to have the conversations that we had. And
mm-hmm,
the thing is that I also had to be in a state of being able to receive conversation from someone else that
mm.
technically, to me, has more material wealth, but that always praises God in everything that they do.
Amen. Amen. I tell you what, it's a rare bird when I meet somebody from here. I've met one person besides you two. I met Mr. Palvato months ago. It's a rare bird, and not to be discourteous or be funky, but I'm very cautious of where I go, who I meet face to face. But Charente and Lois, you're here. I tell you this, I love you both as my friends. When I saw you both in person, well, of course, I mean, I look like Bozo, ear to ear smiles, $1 million smile. You're both so beautiful. You're both so
Yeah, I'm just gonna
gorgeous.
say this. So, guys, so I'm sitting at the table on my phone. I do everything. I was doing Baby Boss because I was working on looking at some strategy in regards to SEO and keywords and stuff like that.
I
And
came in quietly.
I feel a presence. Like I don't see him, I don't hear him. I feel a presence. I look it up, and I said, Daniel F. Hart, because I knew you can hear his joy even without him saying anything. You can feel his joy without him saying anything. And I was like, this man, it really is this joyful in person as he is on the app. This is not a lie. This is not a fallacy right here. This is truth.
Amen and amen. It's interesting because I could not wait to meet both of you. And I know what's in both your hearts. You're both my sisters in Christ. You're both ladies of faith. The fact is, I saw you through the window when I drove up. I'm like, hallelujah, there they are. And so I slipped into the front door, and you're sitting there studying, working hard. And I'm smiling like a clown boy already, but being quiet. So I slip into your booth. I plop down like this. And you look up, you're like, Daniel F. Harp, get over here. Give me a hug. It's
Oh yeah,
awesome.
but patience does win, and the thing is that the reason why he was so cautious, and I was cautious too, to meet this person, we did it in a public place because of the fact that you have to
Yes.
guard yourself still. You can't just go
Hmm.
onto someone else's home turf and not
Yeah,
accidentally get messed up on accident.
exactly.
Whether they intentionally mean to hurt you or it was happenstance. You got to be careful
Exactly
when you're meeting
right.
people off
Be
the line.
cautious. Be
Period.
super cautious and do your due diligence to the nth degree. So, and that's just what we did, and we kept it under wraps. Of course, I wanted to banner that for a week. Check this out. No, we don't. We keep that stuff quiet. But when I sat there with you, I give you a big hug. I mean, honestly, you were wearing, I think, patchouli. You smell beautiful. You look gorgeous. We're sitting there talking. Who comes out of the down the hallway? She came out of, I think, washing her hands. She came around the corner and she, boom, big smile, Lois. You know what, Miss Lois? In person, you are gorgeous. You need to be on the cover of like Vogue, man. Yeah, both of you. She
She can
comes
do the
out around
model
the
walk
corner.
too. She can do the model walk too, just so you know.
You know what? Seriously, you're both so beautiful in person, and sitting there with you for that maybe hour and a half, 2 hours or so, the conversations we had, the information regarding real estate, about evolving spirituality, life itself. I mean, both of you are genius. Both of you are brilliant when it comes to finances, investing, and so on. But just sitting there as your friend and talk with you, I'm like, Lord, I'm blessed that these two ladies call me their friend. So blessed. Thank you, Sharente. Thank you, Lois.
And I'm just gonna say thank you, Daniel, for even talking with us and showing us some other people to look into and listen to
Hmm.
and hero. Because Mr. Daniel likes talking about Grant Cardone. Do you think he got to his billion by hero? He got to it in a day?
Mm,
No, it took him years to get to where he was.
decades.
Years to build that empire that he currently has.
Yes.
And he's delicate with that empire. He's careful about his brand. He has
Mm-hmm.
strategy. He has a legal team. He has structure around his stuff. But
Mm,
that did not come in a day. That
mm.
came over years for him to be
Sharenta,
able to
you're
make some more money.
brilliant. Yeah, Sharenta, you're brilliant. Lois is brilliant. I'm beyond blessed to be called friends by both of you. You're exactly right. Grant Cardone, decade over decade over decade. I mean, his father died at 10. He went sideways from 15, 16, 17 years old up to 24, 25. Alcohol, cocaine, drugs, drinking. It's all public. He does not shy. When he hit 25, 26, he's like, huh, either I can die on this path or I can make something out of my life. He's 63 now. He's got to be pumped over $1 billion. He's overseeing $4 billion in his multi-unit buildings, which we're fully invested in. You're brilliant, like Mr. Grant Cardone, both of you.
Oh yeah, and I
Is a
will
dog
say
over
this.
there ripping apart a piece of meat over there, or is
No,
it
there's a lot of dogs saying, "What it
really?
do? How y'all doing today?"
I'm telling
Because
you,
I
it
also
sounds
have a
like you're
dog too.
staying in the middle of Phil's pet land or something. I feel like about 47 dogs around you.
Pretty much, but it's okay. I just think they're saying hi,
Oh,
really,
there
very
you go.
enthusiastically.
I was gonna say, I thought they were like, they got some food after a week, and they're like, I'm like, Charente, watch your ankles,
No,
watch your
I
feet.
am because I also have a dog with me too. So if something should happen, someone should get loose. It's time to scoop her up like
There
she's an
you
ice
go.
cream. Okay.
Oh my gosh, those meals we had, they were off the hook. That was a killer place.
That okay, so we went to a crepe place that was gluten free because
Mm-hmm.
I am gluten free, and it was actually really good. I didn't know what a crepe was until that day.
Oh,
I was that day years old when I discovered what a crepe was.
it was superlative. That meal was it was just it was lovely. It was honestly one of the best times of my life. Honestly, from my heart, it was beautiful. Hey, did mom eat something that was kind of sideways, not gluten free, or is she okay?
Um. Oh my God. Okay, so that
Mm-hmm.
was due to I think believe something else that she ate before we went out to
Oh,
um before we came to California. And the
oh,
thing
okay.
is, here anything that is cross contaminated, anything like it's
Oh,
in the nuts, it's in the
yeah,
sauce, it could be in anything. That
yeah,
gluten
yeah.
beast, it's a silent beast. Okay, that's the nicest way I can say that.
Yeah, she's
So she's
very
fine.
sensitive. Her system, as
Yeah.
mine is, yours too, probably.
No, it is. The thing is that she's fine, and the thing is, she has it down to almost a science in regards to her recovery time. What she has to, she has a protocol when this stuff
Mm,
happens now, so
mm-hmm,
she's fine. When I say she's fine, I
good.
really do mean it because she has a structure in place, and that took her years to get that structure in place.
Yeah.
If something should like this happen to me, what are the remedies I need to do to get back to my best self as fast as possible? But
Yes.
have the
Yes.
patience
Yes.
for that.
Yes. Moms is in our prayers for sure. Lois, love you. You're in our prayers to get better now, and you're already better in the blood for sure. Thank you very much. There she is. Love you, Lois. Love you,
Oh
Sharente.
yeah. I
Thanks for
love you
bringing me
too,
up.
Daniel. And
Thank you.
thank you
Thank
for
you.
coming on my stage. I always welcome to your stage. And I'm almost at here. I think I'm almost at here. I'm almost at 5 miles, Daniel.
You
I'm
look
almost at
at
5 miles.
you. Look. Hang on a second. Here we go. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. Look at you.
Oh yeah. From zero to nothing. That's how I
Good,
work.
good for
Zero
you.
to nothing.
Hey, check this out, Sharente. Before I split, I'm going to take off not Monday, but day after tomorrow, Sunday. I'm going to be splitting to Florida. I'll be driving across America. Banner that Daniel F. going to do the road trip across America starting Sunday morning. There you go.
Oh yeah. And it's gonna be the energizer. So mind you, guys are gonna hear his old man, you're gonna hear his teenager, you're gonna hear all his stages too.
Sharente's like Daniel's the Energizer Bunny. It keeps going and going and going. Love you, Sharente.
I love you too. Ah, such amazing powerhouses today. I absolutely love it. I'm not even at my destination yet because I just keep walking around this neighborhood around and around and around because I'm having fun talking to you guys. And every instance, patience does win. At every instance, patience wins. So I'm gonna go into really, if you're gonna meet someone offline and if you're dating them, public place. I made a mistake of not doing a public place, and that was my ass, legitimate. That's when I got sexually assaulted. Is when I went to someone else's house, and I was on their turf, and they used that against me in that way, in that moment. But the thing is that they couldn't actually take my power. My power is always going to be there, no matter what. It's just whether I chose to see that I still was powerful, and I am still powerful. And the thing is that it happened for that brief time, and I will say I am better for it. Now I know what not to do. Now I know who I can trust and how to trust. I know to actually research them, talk to them on the phone before I meet them in person to get a vibe check. Because you can't get a vibe check from messages all the time. You really can't. And I will say this, if you're sending salacious photos to people that you don't know and you don't plan to be with them your entire life, one, let me start by saying this, you can be hacked. That's one, two, and three. Celebrities have been hacked all the time, which is why we see so many pervasive and stuff that they don't want to be publicized out there because they took the photo anyway. They did the video anyway. And if you do it, even when you put it into the back end of the system, someone can still hack that. It's not that hard either. There are people that are on YouTube showing people how to hack into phones like this. So don't even take it. Don't even give anyone the opportunity to use anything against you like that. Don't do it. It's not worth it because you are your personal brand and you're building that brand from the time you are born to the time you leave here. You are building your brand day by day, word by word, second by second. So be mindful of that. Be mindful of that. Another thing I can tell you in regards to patience does win is that, like I said, career, it took me over 4 years to get to where I actually wanted to be, making the money I wanted to make, and in a place that loves unconditionally. I just don't say it, say, oh, we always do internal mobility. Da, da, da. No. At the company I work at, I'll disclose it because I'm going to be on one of their issues for their LinkedIn page. I work for Dutch Brothers. Dutch Bros is a company that started in Grants Pass, Oregon. This company was started by two people deciding that they wanted to sell coffee, and they figured out a way to do it that tasted good, and that their whole mission was to share fun and love with every cup of coffee served, and that's what they did. Then they started expanding. They are now in, I believe, 13 states, going on 14 right now, and everyone that's hired is qualified through, are you doing this because you're in a love place? Or are you doing this just to get by? What are you actually doing this for? And I love this company. I really do. And I had to learn how to trust them. I had to learn how to trust. And we have another rock star about to grace this stage. Another rock star. And he's about to drop some gems. I already know because it is who he is. Welcome to the stage, 72 Architect
What's
Jason.
what's going on? Patience is one thing, but your intensity of your focus is another. If you're patient, yeah, that's great. But if you're not intense about what it exactly is that you are going after, like if it's not a primary and there's no plan B, then, or no, if it's a primary and there's no plan B, C, or whatever, and it's just it, then you're willing to go for it and do that and be that, then you'll get the outcomes you really desire. But you got to be able to be realistic with yourself. That doesn't mean create limitations. That doesn't mean criticize, but critique your efforts and your knowledge to harness and craft your experience. That's why patience is so important. Can you take the time to crafting what you want out of your life?
I just love all the gems you give. I really do. And
Yeah.
he is so right because the thing is that even though I'm saying I get all these things, I decided what I wanted for my future. And I didn't harp on the fact I didn't have it in that moment. I just knew it's something that I eventually want to have. And
Yep.
as I started raising my vibration, as I started learning myself for myself, as I started forgiving more and moving on more and placing more boundaries around the things that I needed to place boundaries around to make sure I was safe, the
Mm-hmm.
manifestation started happening because God knew I could handle it because I had the boundaries to make sure I wasn't going to automatically lose it.
I think God just worked in you. It ain't God that did it. He's just like the spectator. He's in the stands. You're on stage. You're the performer and the explorer, my friend. God's there no matter what, good or bad. He won't necessarily tell you. He'll give you hints, but it's kind of like one of those things where I really believe that, you know, remember, God is within you and you're within him at all times, no matter good or bad. When you say
And
he's
I
got your
received that.
bag, he's got your eyes, he's got your ears, you know. But he's got
He's
a
got
funny
your whole
sense of
being.
humor.
Oh my God, yes. Oh, yes.
Especially when you want something so bad, you're like, "Hey, I forgot to tell you the story along the way before you get to that." And you're like, "What? Wait, no, I'm focused. No, I really got to tell you the story." And you're like, "No, but I'm focused. Look, if you don't listen to my story, guess what? You're going to love this if you don't pay attention." But
Oh my God.
that's the
Oh,
way I feel God talks to me. He's like, "Hey, Jason, hey, check it out. I got something for you." You know,
No,
gonna
I
throw
got
it.
you.
You
Because
know
the
what I
thing
mean?
is that for me, when I'm flowing in spirit, I can't give you people labels in regards to half the things that I do
Hmm.
until like I'll say at least 1 month after, or maybe 3 months after it happened. And then I'll be,
Right.
oh, that's what God did. What? Okay. I didn't know that that's how that was going to work out. I didn't know that was that
It
name of
it
that.
it was a team effort. You both did it. You know, you're just like, oh yeah, forgot that big coach in the sky or in the heart.
Oh
Don't want to
yeah,
lose
coach,
sight of that.
cheerleader, everything. It's a
You know.
one-stop shop.
Yeah, but yeah, I just wanted to come on and just like craft that experience with the hyper focus, but also don't be so hard on yourself. I think that's the most important thing that I would tell anybody. You know, don't be so critical you can't be happy.
No, that's very true. Because the thing is that when you're being critical, how can you experience joy in that moment?
True. It's very true. It's hard for a lot of us to realize, you know, the importance of our presence because we're like, oh, I'm doing so great. I'm doing the right things. I'm doing all this good stuff. Yeah, I've got to win at this. And then there's that moments like, oh, I really wasn't ready yet. You know, okay.
No.
And that's that's the ego buster right there. It's like, oh, now I get it. You know, yeah, my Ferrari's waiting. It's coming. Or no, my home is going to be paid for. Yeah, all right, I can work with that. But I work so hard, dang it. You know, it's you can't explain the unexplainable. You just got to ride with it in waves. You know.
Oh yeah, and the thing is always have strategy if you can in regards to other pivots that you can make,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well,
kind of
listen, my
thing.
friend, I am going to bow out and continue listening to your conversation.
Okay, I'll talk to
Thank
you
you.
later, Mr.
All right.
Chairman. Thank you for joining me. I love people. I really do. And I just want to thank everyone that's been on. I want to thank the person that's currently in the queue, and I'll bring you up in 1 second. The patience wins. In the end, it wins, especially when you're doing a research and development for yourself and not taking everything that everyone's saying to you face value. Because I'm gonna be honest, I don't do that. I research myself approved, so I can actually truly know it for myself, and that takes time for me to be able to do that. This next person is someone that has personally corrected me, and I appreciate it because I had to have patience with myself after having a talk with her, and I appreciated that she was able to call me out in a loving way. And this is none other than Jessica Rose.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am doing great. I've been listening for a minute, and hey, patience, you are so right about that. It wins because I am a very impatient person, and being impatient for me has in the past caused a lot of anxiety and depression. So I had to learn how to calm my patience down, right? I had to say, hey, wait a minute, you're getting too impatient. You got to sometimes go with the flow and let God work how he works, right? It's not on your timing, it's on God's timing. So just sit back, relax. You've done all you can do. Right, just be within the now, be within here. What's going on at the moment? You're too far into the future, right? You want to know what's going to happen. You want to know the outcome, which we all do, but at times we have to sometimes calm our spirits down and calm ourselves down and just wait for the moment to happen as it's supposed to happen and just deal with it from there.
Oh yeah, I think it's when our hero. This is how I'm seeing it right now. I think our spirit just gets so excited, so excited, so excited, and some people go into worry, saying, "How can I do that? How can I do that? How can I do that?" In
Mm-hmm.
the excitement, and the excitement changes to being
Mm-hmm.
worried.
Right, right. It does. Exactly. I was talking about worry last night here on the Wisdom app, right? So it does go into worry, and it's just for me, it was just, some of the most excruciating pain I had ever had in my life. And I hadn't got into an accident. I didn't, fall or hit myself or bump up against anything. Nobody touched me. It was just literally my thoughts, right? My negative thoughts, my worrying thoughts that really sent me spiraling into pain and suffering and things like that. So for me, patience is everything. I'm still working on it, right? So when I find myself just being impatient, I have to calm myself down and say, okay, calm down a little bit, right? Just be patient. Just go with the flow. Like you are out on a walk. Go take a walk, right? Go do something else to occupy your mind, right? So I totally get what you're saying when patience, it truly does win.
So my question to you is, what is one way, like one particular instance that patience won for you in your life, if you're willing to share?
Say it again.
What is one instance, like one event that you had to have
Mm.
so much patience that patience actually won at the end because you actually decided just to sit and to be, and then you got what you asked for?
I
What was
think when
that?
it was when I went back to school. When I went back to school to get my degree, it was going to take me a little over 3 years because I had already had some credits. So it was going to take me 3 years to finish. And I would tell people, I enrolled in school, and I'll tell them, what year I would finish. Oh, that's a long time. You sure, you can you'll be able to maintain that long? That seems like forever. And my I was already running a high, anxiety. I'm excited at the same time, but sometimes when you have other people, talking in your ear, telling you a certain thing, it kind of makes you a little bit impatient. So, I was just wanting to hurry up. I wanted to get it done. I wanted to get it over with. And I just had to just really back down for a minute and say, hey, you can't force the graduation date. Right? It's gonna come in the next couple of years. So you just have to sit there, be patient, go to the classes, every day, do the work, do the assignment so that you can graduate, at that time. Because if you don't do the work, and you fail all the classes, you won't graduate at that time. So me just being patient, doing what I was supposed to do, doing what I needed to do, and with the help of family and friends, when that day finally came. And it was crazy because that day fell the day before my birthday. So that was even more exciting. So I had dual parties, a graduation party, and birthday party as well. So that was for me, that's when patience won for me because I was just so excited to start, get it over, get it done, and things like that. So that's how it worked out for me.
I absolutely love that. I will say it took me 7 years to get my 2 year degree,
Hmm.
but I appreciated all those 7 years because I was learning
Right.
businesses too, in
Hmm.
actual practice, not just getting a business degree.
Hmm.
And I know that I realized I was going to graduate. Literally, I think it was less than a month before it happened. And I called
Hmm.
my family, and mind you, this is after I already told my family I was married without letting them know before I was getting married. And they're like,
Hmm.
Sharente, again? And I'm like, I didn't know I was graduating, guys. I had no idea.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Patience is everything, and I think it's something that it has to be learned over time. We got to learn how to be patient because little kids grow up, sometimes they are impatient, so you have to teach them to that they have to wait. You have to wait your turn, or the food is not ready yet, so you have to teach that. And then as we get older, some of those teachings kind of fade away, so it's some things that we do have to relearn, or it's some new things that we have to learn, and some things we have to unlearn, right, in order to learn about being patient. So I just it's to each his own. And when you understand what patience is, and when you kind of find that out, you'll kind of see for yourself. So I feel that everybody has their own journey when it as it relates to being patient about certain things.
Oh, yeah. And I love, I'm just going to say, I love everything you said. And I love patience right now because every time I have a guest on, I'm being quiet. I'm
Mm-hmm.
listening to what they have to say.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I will have my own little 2 cents I'll throw in, but I'll let them talk because I want to hear their wisdom. It's
Right.
not just my wisdom I want to share, it's everyone
Right.
your wisdom too, because
Right.
it's through these conversations that we're having that some people are now learning patience is okay. I can
Mm-hmm.
have patience. I can be gentle with myself. I understand that. I think I can do that. It might not be easy at first, but start saying it is going to be easy for yourself. And then it will be
Right.
easy for yourself.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. I appreciate that. I appreciate you coming on talking about this. You know, sometimes you don't think about certain things until, for me, I would say when you come on the wisdom app and a person's title can just like really hit you, like, yeah, that's something that I want to discuss, or that's something that I've gone through. So when I come in on a person's talk, I do give myself that patience and listen to the conversation. What are they speaking on? Whether they are talking about, and see if I have some type of a story to match that, or just give some kind of experience or idea to go ahead and kind of connect. I like to connect, with guests, not only my guests, but when I'm a guest on somebody else's talk. So I like to make sure that I'm connecting, even though sometimes conversations can go off the wire or whatever. It's just, for me, it's just good to make sure that I'm connected to what the topic is and really, be able to give some feedback on it. So,
I absolutely love it. And I love you, Miss Jessica. Row my boat gently down your stream, okay?
right.
I love your last name too. I'm sorry. I really love your last name. And I know you're like, well, I don't know if you're made fun of because of the last name, but that last name is fire. Because I'll tell you,
Yeah.
I just row my boat, okay? On my
Yeah.
own stream right here.
What one of my ex co-workers, that way he would say that too. That's my married name, so I had changed it while I was working at that place. So when I changed it to Ro, he started saying the same thing. So I hadn't heard that in years. When you said row your boat.
That song too, Okay, I'm back. I'm
Oh,
back. Okay, because my little kid in me is like, ooh, I like that song too. Hey.
all right. All right, girl. You have a good weekend. Thank you for having me up, and I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks. Talk to you later. Bye
You're
bye for now.
welcome. Bye bye.
Oh my God, we are being graced with amazing, amazing, amazing people today. And I am so thankful for it. I really am. And I'm thankful for now saying 126 people in the room. Wow. Thank you for listening. I really do appreciate it. I'm going to talk about this for a little bit longer and then I'm going to bow out because I am now tending to my last 10 minutes of this talk because I got a work meeting and I'm excited because we're going to be learning something new about the company and we're going to have a little bit of fellowship and probably some gaming done for 15 minutes out of it on Friday to see how we won during the week. Because at my job, or the company I work for, we, after the end of the week, we see how we won. And every time I have to send in my hours in regards to, because I'm a salary person, let them know what I did for my job, I'm always asked, how did I win in the week? And what do I look forward to do next week? And I love those two questions that I get to the answer because I get to reflect upon what did I do during the week? How did I felt like I won? This past week, I won by being able to configure, which means to be able to put together in a system some building blocks for the performance module to work for a certain type of employee. And the thing is that I do not have experience with the performance module in Workday, but I was able to do it and it didn't take me long to do it whatsoever. And that was my win of the week. And that was allowing myself to have patience to be able to figure out how to do this configuration. Because when I say this, guys, it's a rule on a rule. Because to me, Workday is just a big freaking access sheet or a Microsoft access sheet that has a whole bunch of different sheets in it. And then you're building that database up. That's how I see it in my little tech mind. But that's my win of the week. And patience wins. It really does. And I've been patient with myself, and I'm gonna let you guys know how far I walked today. And I'm kind of proud of this. I'm at 4.91 miles right now as we're talking. This is what it means for patient wins. I wanted 5 miles today. And I believe I'm going to hit the 5 miles before I get back to my destination to take the meeting that I have with some wonderful people. This was patience. It says I've been walking for an hour and 47 minutes. This was some patience that I had to have with myself to be able to get here because I wanted to walk 5 miles last week and I didn't, but I didn't give up. I did take a break though because there's nothing wrong with taking a break and taking care of yourself. And then I went to a chiropractor and I told him, yeah, I did like a 2 mile walk the next day after because I started feeling sore. And he's like, that's one of the best things that you could do. Hydration and moving the joints because they haven't moved that way for a little while. Okay. We're going to have one person come up and her name is Marcia. Oh, I'm not going to try to mess up her last name. I think it's Woodard, I believe is her name. Let's welcome Marcia to the stage. Can you say your last name, please? Because I butchered that.
Woodard.
Woodard. Okay, sorry about that.
That's
How
okay.
you doing?
Doing pretty good. I've been thinking about patience since I saw your caption, and I think patience involves stillness and yet anticipation at the same time.
That's a bar right there. I'm gonna chew on that. That is so true. It's about the stillness. It's about being. When you're being and you're in the present, then you can really live life to the fullest and you can be thankful just for what you currently have because you're
Yeah,
going to get what you want. You really are. It's just going to take some time to get there. And there's nothing wrong with that time because the thing is, time is relative. It really is.
yeah,
And the thing is that you don't have to compare yourself to someone else's timing because your timing is just as divine as theirs.
yeah. I've had to learn to be patient with myself.
And my question to you is, how is patience winning for you in your life right now, my love?
Um, it's helping me deal with medical issues. I'm waiting to get well. I'm waiting to feel better, and I've had to learn to enjoy the moment where I am.
Oh, yeah. And I will say I applaud you for it because I remember when I was in a lot of discomfort, I'm like, I'm gonna get better, I'm gonna get better. But my father said, haha, you silly, I'm not better right now. What you talking about? You gonna get better? And I'm like, I'm not gonna listen to you because I was told I can do all things through Christ who gives me the strength. So I'm gonna get better, and that I'm healed already. So I'm gonna get better, and I'm gonna be okay.
Yeah, I agree.
And
Did,
I
did
just,
I did I hear
go
you
ahead.
say you had MS?
No, I had hidradenitis suppurativa, anemia, polycystic ovaries, asthma, and febrile seizures as a child.
Ah, you're like me.
Yeah.
Got a collection.
Yeah, girl, it's always about that collection. And I'm like, I'm not trying to collect any more infinity stones in illness. I'm really not. I am really
Yeah,
not. I'm just gonna be absolutely honest.
yeah. I'm my collection's done as far as I'm concerned.
Oh my god. Oh, and I love it. And I will say this: I personally had to figure out the supplements that worked for me. Sea moss was a very good one. So was Devil's Claw. Devil's Claw was really good when I had to take Tylenol and naproxen to help with the
Hmm.
inflammation and the pain in my body. And
Uh-huh.
I know that one of my friends has some really bad nerve discomfort, so much so they can't do surgery on it or anything like that. She started taking CMOS, and she was able to get a second job and just live her best life and move into the apartment that she wanted to move into and everything because she started feeding her body what her body has been screaming at her asking for, which
Yeah,
was just supplements.
yeah. I'm
So
fortunate. I have a doctor that says I trust you with your medication. I'm not going to tell you what to do because you know your body.
and that's the best type of doctor to have. I have fired
Yeah,
doctors when they wanted to dictate what my body was supposed to do based off their mind. I was like, that's I like how you think, but that's not how that works. It really
yeah.
isn't.
It's my body, not yours. You don't know how it works.
not 100%, but I do respect
No,
and
I'm,
appreciate the ones that were there to do the research too with me
yeah,
to help me.
yeah. I have a friend who calls those doctors that think they know everything MDities. He says
Oh
there
my
are
gosh, that's
MDs and then there
funny.
are MDities.
Oh my god. Oh my god. That actually is spot on because they get a god complex and they don't realize it. I really don't think they realize it until it's brought to their attention. Because
Yeah, and
my
then,
doctor had to humble themselves after I told them and my mom told them, do not put stitches in her. Stitches do not agree with her body. They did it anyway, and I had to get a wound back. And I was
wow,
off work for 2 more months because of it. And I was like, after that, she shut up. She let me talk when I needed to talk. She let me do what I needed to do. And she was just an assistant. She's like, I'm so sorry. Because the thing
yeah,
is, I also told her this, and that was a medical issue. And if I really wanted to report that, I could say, these are the things that I asked for. These are the things that they went against. And it wasn't in my best interest. Because if you look at my chart and you look at all my historical records, which she had, you would see that stitches did not agree with me.
yeah. My worst case scenario, I think, was when I went to ER for uh, vision loss in one eye. And they had decided that it was probably a migraine, but I told the ER doctor that, and I shouldn't have because he did the standard operating procedure for migraine. He gave me Reglan for nausea I didn't have, and I have Parkinson's, and you do not give a Parkinson's patient Reglan. It makes them hallucinate.
Oh, oh, whoa there.
Yeah,
Well, I'm happy that you're okay and you're able to tell the tale. I'm gonna be absolutely honest, and I really appreciate you. And I'm gonna clear this right now that in less than a year, we're gonna see you doing some things that you never thought you'll be able to do, and we're gonna hear you testify that, scream from the rooftops at how good your body does feel and how good it is, and that you're taking your body out for spins. I see you in your wholeness. I see you in love. I see you in light. And no matter how your body feels, I know it's already totally healed. And that's what I'm decreeing for you right now. And I love you unconditionally. And I will say for me, I have to go only because I have a meeting in like a minute. But I love you. I really do. And I hope you
thank you.
have a joyous day. Like everyone listening right now, I hope y'all have a joyous day, a righteous day. And I'm just going to say I'm at 5 miles, 5.2 miles. And I did that. Patience won in the end for me today. And I hope it wins for you too. And I love each and every one of you. Bye bye for now.
Can I say something?